Howdy and aloha, everybody. It's James with Monotalk. Let me just put this aside. I'll check on it every once in a while, of course. It is September 11th. September 11th, 2023. What is it, 22 years ago or fucking long time ago? The military industrial complex and the World Economic Forum and Big Pharma and the whole group, the Pedo Predator Class, gave the order, planned everything, and said, "Hey, let's get an average of about $680 billion for the next 20 years to be sent to the military-industrial complex." Well, how are we going to do that? On average per year. 680, give or take a few billion. Per year, 680 per year to the military-industrial complex ever since 9/11. Just averaged out. It's about that. And it's just fucking crazy. They did it. They've pulled it off, and every, I've got, God, I should load these up, but I'm seeing the never forget crap on Twitter, YouTube, by all these politicians and people and tools, and 2012 Obama said it's okay to put up propaganda per the news media outlets. He created that. So we're just seeing bullshit, and we've all seen bullshit, and it's just fucking alarming. Rethink911.org, something architects or something, and then that'll take you to the architects that basically say there's just no way, and there's never been a building that's collapsed completely in demolition style from a fire in the history of the world. No. Just doesn't get us that hot to burn that kind of metal. And, they don't bring up building. Well, they say building 7 is from debris. And there's one account of somebody saying that an engine bounced off and bounced backwards from the opposite direction of where the plane was going and fell onto the building 7. And then it started on fire. And that came down at 5:20 on the same day, when everything else was in demolition style. Demo style, meaning charges that were strategically placed within a good amount of time. And they did a good job. It was as sinister and as hideous and as nauseous as that can make you think that there's actually that kind of shit happening. And that it happened. That happened. So the official narrative, the official story, they keep trying to sell everybody. And we're talking everybody that's out there pushing this never forget. Bullshit. It's just literally bullshit. One of the greatest videos out. It's not this video, right? Not her. Not this. There it is right here. You gotta watch this, because this is good. This kind of tells you what is really going on, right? I'm gonna make it bigger so you can see the whole thing on your big screen or your cell phone or whatever you're using, because I want you to get a glimpse of how magical these people are. It's just amazing, the Nostradamuses of mainstream media, how they're able to predict the future. And this is an actual BBC newscast on that same day. Right? On that same day. And just watch it. Hopefully a commercial won't come up, but we'll see.
Now, more on the latest building collapse in New York. You might have heard a few moments ago, I was talking about the Salomon Brothers building collapsing. And indeed it has. Apparently that's only a few hundred yards away from where the World Trade Center towers were. And it seems that this was not a result of
The Salomon Brothers is Building 7. Building 7. Okay. Let's continue.
a new attack. It was because the building had been weakened during this morning's attacks. We'll probably find out more now about that.
During this morning's attack, so this is in the afternoon. This broadcast is in the afternoon by the BBC. And they didn't get the memo, obviously. Somebody didn't email them or page them at the time or call them or something. But they obviously didn't get the memo.
That from our correspondent, Jane Stanley. Jane, what more can you tell us about the Salomon Brothers building and its collapse?
Well, only really what you already know. Details are very, very sketchy. There's almost a sense downtown in New York behind me, down by the World Trade Centers, of just an area completely closed off as the rescue workers try to do their job. But this isn't the first building that has suffered as a result. We know that part of the Marriott Hotel next to the World Trade Center also collapsed as a result of this huge amount of falling debris from 110 floors of the two twin towers of the World Trade Center. As you can see behind me, the Trade Center appears.
All right. So, the Salomon Brothers building that they're talking about is still standing. And they're saying it collapsed. Again, I'm going to say it. They're telling us that it had already collapsed. The Salomon Brothers Building 7 building. I mean, there's lots of buildings out there. There's tons of buildings. And let me just show you where the location of this building compared to everything else. Just grab it real quick. Right? Now, how many buildings so tower, this is, you can see this. I created this fucking, I don't know, 2012, probably before that. I've had this on my Facebook forever, probably before 2010. And I said, this is crazy, because once I saw that, I mean, I put a lot of information together and just came up with the hypothesis or the theory or a conclusion that there's no fucking way this would ever happen. So this is an infrared of a flyby from satellite, I'm not sure. And it shows where everything's at. It shows north, right, is that way. And then the wind speed was only 5 miles per hour, right? So nothing was really, 3 to 5 miles per hour. Nothing was really blowing to where it could really move debris that's on fire over to a building, right? Because it was actually in a different direction. Because if you look at Building 7, which is the Salomon Brothers building on the top left here, the building mainstream media never talks about, right? Building 7. There it is. And then building 1 collapsed, right? Building 2, building 1. But when building 1 collapsed, they're trying to tell us that debris fell about a half a mile away, which trajectory-wise, you'd have to propel something with enough force, and it'd have to have enough mass to travel that far. It's just physically impossible because the plane was going in the opposite direction of where Building 7 is. Now on the bottom right, you can see Building 7, the Salomon Brothers building she's talking about. See on the bottom? Right? And that was at 5:20 p.m. And the wind, as you can see, because I checked the wind direction of that day thoroughly, and it clearly indicates that it was blowing perpendicular to Building 7 and perpendicular to the direction of the plane going into Building 1, Tower 1. Can you see now if Tower 2, if the plane was going the other direction, the same direction of the flight, what flight is that? That is, so the flight 11 hit perpendicular in the opposite direction of where Building 7 is. But let's just say if that flight 11 flew in the different direction instead of the one it's going, right, which is kind of northeasterly, right, then I could understand maybe something flying out of there and hitting that. But nothing bounced. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And there's just so much information of hearing explosions and charges and all these videos. But you have to see the distance from the base or just the top corner of Building 7 to, let's just say, the mid part of World Trade Center 1. Right? And if you go up, the trajectory of any debris is going to be towards that building. You could get a few pieces of metal that might bounce off, or something could fall down, but there was nothing seen in any video that indicated at all that there was no video at all. I'm going to repeat this. There's no video showing any debris flying in the opposite direction of that plane and when it imploded or was demolished intentionally. It maybe went out, covered parts of World Trade Center 6, but nothing touched 7. Nothing touched 7. By the way, all this material that they picked up, they clean this shit up so fast, just like Maui. And this is very much like Maui. I'm just trying to get to that in a second. Well, I'll just tell you, they created a memorial. And what did Governor Josh Green want to do with Maui? He wants to create a memorial so they can take ownership of that land. So the government can fully own it and turn it into AKA smart island or smart city. That's their goal. That's the World Economic Forum Predator Class system, just to remind you. So there's no fucking way this happened. And they don't, and they keep telling, there's no video. But let's just watch this We gotta watch this lady again. And let's just keep playing what you say. Now remember, right where her forehead is, right? So hopefully you can see my pointer. This is building 7. And I hope you can see my pointer. That's building 7. She's saying that it's down already. She's predicting the future in the early afternoon, right? Probably like 12:30, 1 o'clock, saying, oh, it's down. But it didn't go down until 5:20. Pull it. They pulled it. And the term for demolition is pull, and that's been recorded as well. There's just so much fucking information on this. Here, let's see what she says.
Appears to be still burning. We see these huge clouds of smoke and ash, and we know that behind that there's an empty piece of what was a very familiar New York skyline, a symbol of the financial prosperity of this city, but completely disappeared now, and New York has...
That's live. That's not a video. She's sitting in a building, and I could definitely tell you where this building is if anybody could, of where this BBC transmission was done. But this is her being there, showing that it's still up. She has no idea. She has no idea. They're just going along with the script.
Still unable to take on board what has happened to them today.
Presumably there were very few people in the Salomon building when it collapsed. I mean, there were, I suppose, fears of possible further collapses around the area.
That's what you would hope, because this whole downtown area behind me has been completely sealed off and evacuated, apart from the emergency workers. That was done by the mayor, Rudy Giuliani,
Yeah, this is
much earlier today.
This is the afternoon, for sure. For sure.
Because of, course, the dreadful collapse of the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center. But New York, very much a city still in chaos.
There it is. It's in writing. The 47 story, and that's behind her to the left of her ear, or as we're visualizing, to the right of her head, is the Salomon Brothers building. Close to the World Trade Center. It's about a half a mile away. Like I said. Has also collapsed. I want to see what the comments are. The fact that so many of the videos and documentaries about Building 7 collapse have disappeared from YouTube speaks volume. Yeah. Jane Stanley, power of the prophecy can only be allowed to go to waste. Her clairvoyant sight of future was so strong she could see the present reality behind her. Mesmerizing, stunning, and indeed brave. I remember watching this video. I remember this. I remember seeing this footage that they reported in the police before, reporting it after it actually did. And this is one of my favorite sayings. And I think it's a paraphrase from Mark Twain. It's easier to fool people than to convince them that they've been fooled. It is easier to fool you with the magic trick. And this is what I do on Monotone. You know, the power of the truth, the power of fact, the power of information. Right? It is easier to fool people than to convince them that they have been fooled. And it's hard to convince people because they like the illusion. They want to go with it. They can't fathom. They can't take the pill. They can't digest that, oh my God, you think these people would actually do this? Yes. Go back in history. The United States, to this day, 50 years, has killed over 200 million people. 20 million people. Including our own. Across the planet. That's our death count right now. Over 20 million people. There was like 2,500 people in this that got killed here. How many in Maui? About the same. Probably about the same. But they're only recording or saying it's 115 or something. They won't disclose any more information. They've got it all blocked up. The same thing in Maui. The same thing that's happening in Maui happened here. Happened then. In 9/11, 2001. Same thing. They're doing it. They did it again. And the land's all theirs. It's all government because memorials are government owned now. I told everybody they should just re-erect the buildings. That would have been a better tribute. Keep going. That would have made our country stronger. There's a. Let me just go into here. Details are very sketchy. She's honest about one thing. It's just fucking good. Thank you for archiving this history. It's important. There's another thing. 20 years later, and most people can't wrap their minds around anything except the childish story we were given. Yes, exactly. 20 years later, and most of the people can't wrap their minds around anything except the childish story. And they keep giving you these childish stories. They keep presenting you with these childish stories. They keep telling you Santa Claus exists. They keep telling you that the bunny that Peter Cottontail is real. And people just keep eating it up. It's just fucking crazy. It's lunacy. And we've been, many of us, I mean, I've been fooled. We all get fooled, right? There's a lot of marketing involved. There's a lot of public relations, advertising, branding, impressions. Impression. The more you see it, the more you believe it. The more you see it, the more you believe it. Right? I just can't believe that YouTube's left this up. But they have a thing for that. Oh, they made a mistake and we just didn't know. But how would you know that exact building? How the fuck would you know this exact building right behind you? Because there's a bunch of buildings here. As I had indicated, there's a bunch that could have easily been affected by something, right? Easily could have been affected by something. Look at all these buildings around here. Here's what's very interesting. Tower 2 was about half the distance that building 1 was to building 7. To this building here. I don't know what building that is. To the top right. What building is that? Why didn't that go down? Why didn't the one next to it go down? Tower 2, World Trade Center 2, the distance and the same trajectory, but what's interesting is it's closer. And the height is relatively the same as Building 7, this other building. Building 7 was 47 stories. It's high. It's probably the same as this one here to the right, top right. I want you to think about that. Right? This is fucking craziness. Why people are so complacent is what gets me the most. What gets me the most is the complacency. DIYliberty.org. Oh, no, you guys are seeing on the bottom anyway. It's all laid out. I mean, there's nothing more you need to see here. I mean, once you look at this, you're like, really? Wow, fuck. Right? And then I show the distance. Building 6 was tiny compared to Building 7. So I could understand that. That was only like 10 stories, maybe 15 stories. So of course, and it was right next to it. So something's gonna happen to that. It's gonna get some debris. But there's also architects going, wait. There's a giant hole there. How could that even happen? There's so many questions about this, so much information about this, yet everybody wants to believe it's okay. Oh, we like the official story. Some planes flew in and it was a terrorist attack and all this other shit. Did you know that the Empire State Building, a plane flew into the Empire State Building, a good-sized plane, but nothing happened to it. It didn't even budge it. People didn't even feel it. Witnesses say, right? There's in other buildings. Yeah, you. Oh crap! What just? Okay. Yeah. What else do you want to know? I mean. If you this is what I'm seeing all the time on Twitter, and I'm gonna just scroll up, and you'll probably see something, or scroll down. You're gonna see, here you go, right? Here's Twitter all day long. Josh Hawley, never forget, bro. Never forget what? Never forget that we were fucking duped. Never forget we were tricked, fooled, played, thoroughly and completely lied to. Is that what you want us to never forget? Because that's what we should never forget. Right? Let's see who else is fucking pontificating. Right? And they're fucking all of them. It's just fucking nonstop. Oh, look. Oh, here's a good video. Yeah, jet fuel did that. Is that what jet fuel did? No. And there's another one. White House. Let us honor September 11th by renewing our faith in one another. Let us remember who we are as a nation. Never forget. We are never afraid. We endure. No, people are afraid. People are scared because you guys are a bunch of fucking criminals. Bunch of fucking criminals. Right? What else? Let's see if we got some more of these idiots. Just fucking everywhere. Right? There's got to be some more. I know I saw some earlier. Let's see who else is fucking doing this shit. Who else? This morning I joined families whose loved ones were murdered by terrorists on 9/11. There, official story. Official story. I don't think so, bro. I don't think so. You know? It's just fucking A. They know. They all fucking know. They all know. You know what? Let's see if what's his name has put up some more information. It's just when you hear the initial, and even Tulsi fucking Gabbard, for God's sakes, woman, you fucking know. There's all these fucking people. Look at that. Creepy and weird. Look at Joe Biden's fucking kissing McCain's memorial in Vietnam. Oh, God, he kissed it? What the fuck is that? That's fucking weird. Cat tour's awesome. Right? Just fucking crazy. Yeah. Joe Biden said he was at ground zero, by the way. Joe Biden Joe Biden's been on the moon. Yeah. Yeah, here's a good one. 9/11/01. The magical day when two planes took down three buildings. More than three buildings, bro. Jet fuel melted steel. Passports defied physics. Because the passports, that's a good one, Jason. They found passports of these people in the rubble, like within hours of like cleanup. They found the passports of the terrorists because the fucking why is this on? I gotta take this off. Because it's just fucking hilarious. Because jet fuel will make metal burn, which it doesn't. Right? It does not. But jet fuel exploding or igniting does not ignite or burn a fucking paper passport with the plastic laminate over it. Come on. Come fucking on. Come on, people. Right? The fight for his 2.3 trillion vanished the day before. Right? Let's just... I think I got that video. Hang on. I'm going to find that. And this is... that was per... Donald Rumsfeld. That's still up too. It's Rumsfeld, F-E-L-D, I think. Here it is right here.
Well, I don't know if it's true. If it proves to be true that large gatherings of these folks actually can be located, and it actually happens and can be located, you can be sure there'll be people interested in that.
I just wondered, do you feel the United States is winning the war on terrorism?
Well, I think on the issue of massing along the border, the Secretary pretty much covered that. We know that's where that's where a lot of the Al-Qaeda fled, some of the Taliban probably for that matter. And it's a long border, and I guess there's no doubt that there are pockets of them. Whether they're massing or not, I think remains to be seen. I would just tell you that from what I've seen, we have no evidence of that. On the other hand, General Franks, this is something that he and General McNeil inside Afghanistan work on a daily basis. We've got reasonably good intelligence. We get good cooperation from Pakistan and from Afghanistan.
And it is very clear that the political and economic sanctions have, with respect to Saddam Hussein, have not worked. The containment. A third part of the containment, clearly, was Operation Northern and Southern Watch. The big thing that was there was the weapon. There's no way any I can say that we believe in the United States of America that it is not debatable, that in fact there is ample evidence. Indeed.
Just what's going on with the culture. How in the world could it be that the biggest, greatest fighting entity in the world cannot audit itself until 2018? What's wrong? The fact is we probably wasted hundreds of billions of dollars at the Pentagon through the years, through poor.
It's in here. I don't know if he says it here, but is it right there? Wait. No, that's not it.
Well, I don't know if it's true. Well, I don't know if it's true. If it proves to be true that large gatherings of these folks actually can be located. And
that's right, yeah. I gotta put missing with an N. this it?
Reports that say that something hasn't happened are always interesting to me, because as we know, there are known knowns. There are things we know we know. We also know there are known unknowns. That is to say, we know there are some things we do not know. But there are also unknown unknowns. The ones we don't know, we don't know.
Fucking God. I think, oh yeah, here it is. Sorry.
Fail to adapt. And the fact that they can fail and die is what provides the incentive to survive. But governments can't die. So we need to find other incentives for bureaucracy to adapt and improve. The technology revolution has transformed organizations across the private sector. But not ours, not fully, not yet. We are, as they say, tangled in our anchor chain. Our financial systems are decades old. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions. We cannot share information.
Yeah. That was the day before. I wonder where that information would be. Where would that information be? Would it be... I'm just going to guess. But would it be... Would it be somewhere around here? Oh yeah. That information, to track that, just so you know, and there's information out there. If you ever want this information, I've got it. I can find it. It's out there. To track that money, 2.3, they can't find. Where did they keep that? Where did they keep that information? Well, it was in the Twin Towers. It was in Building 6. It was in Building 7. In order to research and audit and find this money and where it's going, where it's gone, that's bullshit. You just don't fucking lose $2.3 trillion and then the next day, you destroy every place where a paper trail could locate where that money actually went. The Pedo Predator Class, aka World Economic Forum, and their associates have been fucking doing this shit for a long time. They create the wars, they create the problems, they create everything. These evil fucking bastards. And we're like we're the Tom Hanks of it all. We are the best theatrical fuckers out there, and Tom Hanks is a great analogy. Example. Because it's all a fucking show, and most of you guys are fucking buying it. You're buying it. You bought it. Most of you bought it. I'll send you the information. If you ever want to know where that money could have been traced, could have been found, could have been connected to, the dots aligned, it was in these buildings. But the day after he said that was missing, boom, 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 explosion, demolition style. I don't need to show you what fucking, you've seen it. You go look it up. All this shit went down. Building 7 down. This is fucked up. And then I relate everything, and I'm going to end with this. And if you need to get the information from me, just let me know. But I'm going to end with this. If they can pull off that shit, and everything else, To Kill a Mockingbird, fucking Vietnam, I mean, JFK. I mean, how many fucking things do you need to know and see, 10, 15, 20 years later, due to FOIA and somebody finally exposing the information to know that those conspiracies were actually true? Conspiracies. Conspiracy theories that term was created by the CIA to make you look like you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But what we do know, and what you should know, is that a conspiracy theory these days, probably in the past too, is a fucking spoiler alert. I'll repeat. A conspiracy theory these days, and most recently, are spoiler alerts. Spoiler alerts. Because they all seem to start coming to fruition. They all seem to start coming true. Not like this chick, right, who fucked up. What the hell is it? Anyway, it's gone. The girl that was freaking from the BBC. You don't want to believe it. We just want to go along with the fairy tale. Yep, Santa Claus is real. Peter Cottontail is coming on Easter morning. Right? Tooth Fairy. There's my dollar bill we won't have anymore because it's all going to go to central bank digital currency. Because most of this country's full of meek. I'm going to repeat. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this so you can see it in my face. This country is full of the most meek, malleable, and obedient fucking human beings on the planet. It's sad. It's sad. It's not about waking up. Right? You're already up. You're already privy to the information. It's already accessible. Just ask. Say, hey, what are you talking about? What the fuck is going on? Well, basically the World Economic Forum, the Pedo Predator Class, and these are some sick fuckers out there, right? Right now, they're just basically doing this. This is what they're doing, and I keep telling everybody this, and for some reason, most people caught on. It's a tough pill to swallow. All these, they're all interconnected. A lot of countries, about 3,000 compromised political leaders, according to Klaus Schwab. Mass social control, mass depopulation, at least 2/3 of the planet, and world central banking, which means that if a few people or a handful of people, if a handful of fucking people, I'm going to put my face in. If a handful of freaking people, right? If a handful of people just a handful, about maybe 200, and these are billionaires, these are 100 billionaires. These people have so much money, so much assets, so much investment, so much liquid capital. Right? Liquid capital means pocket money. Right? It's not invested in something. It's money they can pull out of their asset like that. Billions, hundreds of billions. And the fucking Bezos, Gates, these guys are nothing compared to these fuckers. And you don't know who they are. But they're all tied to some bloodlines out there, some families out there. They're all tied to monarchies out there, because they've destroyed many monarchies to rule over those. One being my culture, the Hawaiian monarchy, and they're doing it again, and with in Hawaii and Maui. Right? So these people, they don't need you anymore. This is so hard for people. Oh, that's all for money. They just want money and control. No, they don't fucking care. Like, if you had $1 billion, who would you want around? Just your immediate friends and family, and you guys would fucking be partying and having fun like rock stars for the rest of your fucking life. Well, that's where they're at. Think about that. This is where they're at. They have so much fucking, their goal, bottom line, okay, if they have CBDC, world central bank digital currency, goes into play, then these few people have absolute control over everything, finances, money, everything. And if you don't obey, and if you don't follow the rule, and if you don't fucking follow the narrative and stay in line, this is 1984 Orwellian happening now. They're at warp speed with this. And I'm going to use that term because I'm a little concerned about where Trump's head's at. I'm concerned about all of them. I'm concerned. I'm going to take a break and I'm going to come back with another video in regards to that shit. Mass social control, face recognition, planted chips, passports, vaccinations, status. If you break the law, then or if you flip somebody off, or if you tell a trans person, or you call somebody retarded or whatever, right? You're going to get dinged. They can take money out of your pocket with that world central banking. It's complete and total control, because their ultimate goal. Here's the shocker. Here's the shocker that nobody wants to even contemplate. Oh, it's about money control. It's always about money control. No, it's not. Not this time. Not this time. Early 2020 is when they fucking sent out the test bubble. They wanted to see what would fucking happen. They created the proposal, Event 201. CLADX, the SPARS document, just look them up. Right? And everybody bought in. Do you know how many people left that were CEOs in 2019? Record numbers of CEOs didn't want to be a fucking part of this shit. They got the memo and they said, no, I don't want to fucking be a part of this. And they knew if they said anything, they'd be fucked. You go look, and how many fucking CEOs just disappeared. And new ones came in. But the bottom line is they depopulate 2/3 of the planet so they can manage the rest and hoard the planet for themselves. Again, depopulate as many as possible. They have their slaves, they have their servants, they have their fucking whatever they want. They don't need you anymore. They don't need your money, they don't need your labor, and they don't need you. This is a tough fucking pill to swallow for people. Mass social control, mass depopulation, world central banking. The Great Reset sets New World Order. Yeah. It's been happening for a while, but now it went into fucking overdrive in 2020. Why does that just pop up? That's weird. Right. Yeah. Dear WEF, Council on Foreign Relations, World Health Organization, BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, JP Morgan Chase, Fidelity, all these fuckers. We know you all took the Agenda 201 SPARS CLADX proposal. They took it all. They were okay with it. But we, the 99%, did not. We didn't. Did you take it? I didn't take it. These unelected officials that are out there, these fucking these sick, disgusting, greedy bastards, is not how I want my planet to be represented. Not by these people. Not by these people. You need to understand that. That's important for people to understand. We will not comply. We will revolt, and we will put you all in fucking jail. And I'm going to talk about it in the next session, because there's some Jacera and Nasera, some other stuff. I'm hearing all this stuff. I've been hearing this for, at least a year or so, right? But we're gonna just see what else is going on with that. But there's the realization. They're fucking on a massive mission. This is their agenda. This is their goal. Mass depopulation, complete mass social control, world central banking, which pretty much tops it off. And they're going to hoard it all for themselves. And only the most obedient, the most loyal, will be able to be a part of this. But even those people don't get it. Even those people don't get it. They don't fucking get that. These people, they don't care. They don't care. Everyone's expendable. Because if you don't do what you tell them to do, and then you're not the right hand man anymore, and they'll find another one. They'll coerce, they'll blackmail, they'll find another one. This is how bad it's got. I know this is super hard for people to tell. But I just pointed out the fucking ridiculousness of 9/11. I could do that. I've done that in regards to the Fluvid and the fucking Kool-Aid everybody's taken. I've been doing that since early 2020. And then I still have fucking family and friends, and people are just like, eh. But now they're just a little suspicious, right? After their third fucking Kool-Aid booster, right? They're just a little suspicious now. I'm on my 8th YouTube channel for a reason. Because I not only tell you what's going on, but I kind of give you how it's done. Go over the marketing, the impressions, the advertising, the not the trolls. These are actors. There are actors everywhere making big money. They're crisis actors. To create to any rally that Biden has right now, I would guarantee you at least over 60 to 70% of those people are probably actors. Maybe even all of them. I don't know a fucking single person right now that believes that Biden is actually doing something positive for the 99.9%. That's you and me. People making under $500,000 a year. Right? If you're not making $500,000 or more, well, actually, that's changed. Because with inflation, right, and this recession, basically somewhat of a depression, in my opinion, this forced depression, it's all in the plan. It's all in the fucking plan. These people are just immensely diabolical. I've done so much work, just tons and tons and tons and tons of research on this. It's my hobby. If you want to build, balsa wood airplanes, or if you want to go look in a telescope at night, that's right. My hobby is trying to make sure that everybody is informed so that my kids, their children, and so on and so forth, won't live in a world that these people are fucking currently building. Corralling. They're corralling everybody. They're not building anything. They're pressing in, and they're gonna do whatever they can. With that now being known, and hopefully you can understand that, and I'm telling you, just get with me, and I'll tell you, my only biggest fear, right? Because they're gonna create explosions and all kinds of crap and get people riled up, and they got aliens flying around. They're gonna do everything they can to distract you and push you even closer into that smart city, into that agenda that they want, which is right here. That's it. I put this up fucking 2020, midway through 2020. I just put it all together said, this is it. My biggest fear with these fucking people is they're going to act like fucking spoiled, rotten, brat little children. And if I can't have it, nobody can. And if they fucking have and if you have the wrong person, like the super puppet of puppets that's ever been a puppet of puppets, like Joe Biden in office, he'll give the order. He'll destroy it all. They'll go through him to destroy it all. If I can't have it, then nobody can. That's my biggest fear. We have to stop that. This needs to be cut off in the butt. You need to get with your legislator, your judiciaries, your executives, and your department heads and say, fuck you. Fuck you, you fucking fucks. We're done with this shit. Be angry. Be pissed off. 9/11 was an inside job. Every fucking thing out there pretty much is an inside job. Right? Unless you see somebody stealing candy from a fucking grocery store, maybe they're just hungry. Because the fucking prices of everything is so fucking sky high. But what they did in 9/11 is the same as they're doing in Maui. They want to turn it into a memorial. Bullshit. That was a massacre. Planned massacre. I'm not exactly sure how they got this area here to burn, but not that area. Anyway. It's hard to swallow, but if you ever needed the information of why I come to this conclusion or why this information is coming out, and then a lot of people understand what I'm saying. Very small people, they're very seldom few get it. Just a very seldom few people get what the fuck's really happening out there. It's tough. It is fucking tough. You're just like, no way. It's money control. No, it's not anymore. You have $100 billion. You have $200 billion, right? Let's just say you easily have access to that. What the fuck do you need? Do you need people? Do you need to be driving down the freeway and traffic anymore? No, you don't want that. You want to fly and go wherever you want, whenever you want, with whatever you want, and however you want to do it. That's where they're at. That's where they're fucking at. I don't care what cult or fucking dogma or theism or group or society or whatever they're in. Whatever their excuse is, right? Whatever that excuse is to be an asshole, they're still assholes. Okay? No matter what happens, and if you're a part of this, no matter what cult or what brand, if you're Skull and Crossbones or whatever the fuck you're in, you're still an asshole. Doesn't matter. Bottom line, I don't care what you're wearing on your shirt or what you got around your neck, right? Or what's promoting you to be a fucking disgusting pedophile, piece of shit, globalist motherfucker. You're still an asshole. That's it. You're just a fucking asshole. And there's a saying about assholes, which I keep forgetting. But anyway. And their shit just keeps coming out. Maybe I should use that one. It's really crazy. But it's really happening. I know. This little fucking dude over here in Missouri just telling you like it is. I'm sorry it's tough, but that's fucking what's happening. I'm still doing what I can to stop it. If you have a channel, if you have anything, get on there, share this information. Get information from me, share it. Share it with everybody. Say, what are you talking about? Where'd you get this information? I'll send it to you. I'll send you the proof. I'll send you the videos. I'll send you all the information. Just keep going. There's so many others in this. Quack Brothers are doing it. Combo Couch is doing it. Jimmy Dore is finally getting it. Not about money and fucking control anymore, Jimmy. He's just starting to get this. You know, Max Blumenthal, I know, gets this. You know, there's a lot of people out there that really understand what the fuck is happening out there. And it's not good for you, the 99.9%. Let's just get rid of them. My next video, I'm going to come back on. I'm going to just show you what this Nasera Jacera thing is and how this is supposed to unfold. Which that would be wonderful, but I'm just like, I've been hearing this for too long, but nothing's happening. But anyway, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Again, this is James with Montauk. It is 9/11/2023. And yes, this is all bullshit. You got to do something about it. It's time to do something. Just stop waiting around. Right? Aloha.